One of the craziest things happened to me today at work, and I got to tell you about it because it's just one of those things that leads right into what I'm talking about. I was helping a customer, and I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, how can I help you?" And I stuck my hand out to shake his hand, and he started to shake my hand until he looked at me, and then he kind of backed up and he says, he said, he's probably mid-60s or so. He said, "I don't usually associate with you tattooed hippie types." Just like that. And I said, "Well, okay." And I just told him, I said, "Well, I hope you're having a good day." And he said, "Oh, I'm most blessed." And I said, "Well, good." I said, I'm blessed better than I deserve as well." He looked at me and he says, "Well, I guess that's just proof that the rain falls on the just and the unjust." And he just turned and he walked away. He was trying to use Matthew 5:45 to reprimand me, I guess, for my looks. I thought that was quite bizarre. But it's that piety and that religious spirit that has infiltrated a lot of churches. And that, along with a lot of other things that are really just toxic in churches, affects people. And today, I want to talk to you about how that toxic church and those negative behaviors in churches affect our children. That's coming up next on Body Slammed. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm so glad that you're a part of what's going on here at Body Slammed. I want to talk to you a little bit today about how these negative behaviors, like that guy I just mentioned, infiltrates into the church and how it affects not only adults, but kids too. I have two children. I have a 16-year-old and I have a 19-year-old. The 16-year-old's wide open with her high school stuff, and she was kind of young when we went through the stuff that we went through whenever we had that happen. But the 19-year-old, she was 12 years old. And even though it's just one or two people that really caused a lot of issues and problems in my church career, if you want to call it that, she saw it. She heard it. She heard them talk about her mama, and she heard them talk about her daddy, and she heard the things that they were saying. And you know, adults can overlook stuff, and they can say, that's, this is how people are, and we can kind of move on and go to a different church and get beyond that. But it's been very difficult for my oldest daughter. And I want you to know that has been a battle that we've been fighting since we moved here 7 years ago, because she saw these people doing it, and what she would say is, that was one of Mama's friends. That lady was one of the Sunday school teachers, and she taught me in VBS, and we went on trips with them, and they told me how Jesus wanted me to be, but they're not being that way. She would say that man's a deacon. That man he leads the music in our church, or whatever. And she saw the worst side of how people can be in churches. And kids, man, they pick up on that stuff. Kids are smart. They pick up on that stuff. And it hit her hard. And I've had to really kind of ingrain in her life that we don't go to church for people. We go to church for the Lord, and how we can not only be ministered to, but how we can serve Him. I have no doubt that they are believers. But man, getting them involved in church to where they love it, it's been a challenge. Thankfully, my oldest daughter, now that's in college, she's dating a Christian boy. And he is making it a priority, to go to church too, because he says it's important for their relationship. So they're doing that too. Now they're going to church on their own without their dad having to get them up and make them go to church. And that's been a lot of fun to see her grow and mature past some of that tough stuff that we went through. If you're not involved in a healthy church, if you're in a toxic church, poisonous, pious, religious, gossip or finger pointing or hate-filled attitudes that are just ungodly. It's of the devil, and I want you to know that if you're involved in that and your kids are there, man, your kids may be picking up on more of it even than you are. And boy, that's a scary thing. As much as I picked up on it, when I realized just how much it affected my children, your kids, they're so important. They're so precious and so tender and so impressionable. So I want to encourage you, love your children, find a healthy group of believers, a healthy church, a healthy body that you can go and be ministered to and join hands and serve with, because they need it. They do. And we're also going to talk in the future about how you need it and how your spouse needs it as well. God bless you. And let's not only minister to the adults around us, but when it comes to those kids, let's give them heaven.